It picks up incredibly well, as you'd imagine, but I do prefer this diamond cut look. We're at 40 just then, like literally tap the accelerator. So then, let's start at the front of the ZR-V, and it's got a very distinctive face, and it looks pretty much different from any other Honda on the road, which is really exciting. I'm getting a lot of vibes of other cars on here, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Now, you might call me crazy, but I am seeing a lot of Lamborghini Urus in these lights and the front design of this car. This grille also gives a little bit Ford Puma. Not everyone's going to like it, and it hasn't gone down well with everyone. It is quite a chunky looking car rather than more of a light, sleek car like the smaller HR-V. But overall, I'm really liking the design of the car. It looks like it's going to suit everyone of all ages pretty much. At the front, you've got this linear style grille on the Elegance and Advanced models, and on the Sport model you do have the same gloss black, but it's a honeycomb grille, which is a little bit sportier, and I do quite like that one. Just for reference, this is the ZR-V Sport. This car has got the Robust Pack, which is £1,550 option. That gives you these scuff plates at the front and the back, and it also gives you the running boards at the side. Moving to the side of the ZR-V, and you can kind of tell the sheer size of it. It does have a bit of a lower roofline, which Honda have highlighted. They've even said it has almost coupe-like shapes. I don't really see that, but they do tell you that in the literature. It's more of a more traditional SUV look. The Robust Pack, like I say, gives you these running boards at the side. They look all right. They're not really necessary for the car. Let's talk paintwork options on the ZR-V. And to be honest, you do have quite a nice choice of colours. So your metallic colours are £650, optional extras. This diamond dust metallic, which is absolutely stunning, silvery white, that's £975. Unfortunately, we don't get the actual launch colour, what is the HR-V in America, this same car. They've got this sort of green colour, I think it's called Canyon Green, and it's absolutely stunning. And it was on some of the initial shots that said ZR-V for other regions. It's a shame that we didn't get it because it did really suit the car. I'll insert an image because that would have been my favourite. But this Diamond Dust is definitely my favourite. They do also have the Still Night Blue Pearl, which is nice, that's £650. And they've got a new red, which is called Radiant Red. It looks a little bit like the Premium Crystal Red, but a little darker and a little bit more of a premium colour. So overall, the choice of colours is nice. The standard colour is the Rouge Black, and that's a free option. It's a metallic pearlescent black, and it's got sort of purples in there, browns. It's a really nice colour actually, but Diamond Dust is definitely my favourite at £975, so I just must have expensive taste. Let's talk wheels on the new ZR-V. All wheels are 18 inches, which means you get an excellent ride comfort. It's excellent across the range, whether you go for elegance or the top of the range model like this Advanced. You can get optional 19-inch rims as well. The optional Honda rims are quite pricey, and they kind of are as an accessory rather than an option, if that makes sense. Get these grey alloy wheels on the Elegance, which are quite nice. They're all the same design, but just different cuts and colours. On the Sport, you go up to some matte black alloys in the same design, same in 18 inches. And then on this Advance, you get these diamond cut version of the same wheel with the gloss black and the silver. These are definitely my favourite wheels, I think. I do like the matte black on the Sport, but I do prefer this diamond cut look. In my opinion, it looks a lot better, but all wheels, whatever trim you go for, are quite nice on the new ZR-V. So then, let's see how the new ZR-V drives. So it actually has simulated gear changes on the ZR-V, so it's very smooth. You've got the paddles on here as well, which you can use, which help the regen on there. It is quite a powerful vehicle. To drive, it is very similar to an electric vehicle because it's so smooth. You don't have gears as such. The e-cvt is a very clever system. So on gears, you'll feel the car go up gears and you'll feel it change, whereas CVT is more of a smooth experience. In the past with CVTs, you do hear a bit of a growl when you put your foot down. I'm going to try this in a minute when safe to do so. It does have it a bit there, but again, it's very smooth. It doesn't growl too much. It's a much more refined unit than the 1.5 and a much powerful too. Of course, being an SUV, it's not going to handle like a Civic. It's got a bit more body roll to it, but it is quite precise. And also I'm very impressed with the ride comfort. I'd say it's sort of a similar size to some of the older CR-Vs almost, and it's very high up as well, which gives you that good driving position. You get great visibility in this car as well, and it's not just a crossover. Compared to the Civic, which is quite a low car, this is a lot higher up. It's not slightly raised up, it's significant. The regen paddles are very useful as well. So the paddles, the highest regen braking is not the strongest, but it's still there, so you can't really drive it one pedal, you still need to use your brakes. The price differences between the Elegant, Sport and Advance aren't actually that significant, but the starting price is like quite a premium price point. So your Bose sound system and sunroof are only available on this Advance model. You can't spec them on the Sport, which is a bit of a shame because a lot of consumers will want to go for the Sport because of the styling and the black wheels, etc. But again, like I say, it's not a massive price bump up to the Advance. Front sensors come up like so, which are really handy. And we'll park it on here. A rear camera does make things a little easier. It's quite a long car as well, like the Civic, which it's based on. Let's have a little look at the powertrain on the new ZR-V, and it comes straight out of the 11th generation hybrid Civic. That means you've got this 2-litre naturally aspirated engine, get 158 brake horsepower, mated with the twin electric motors on the front wheels, giving you a combined output of 184 brake horsepower. So it's pretty quick. That gives you 0 to 60 in just 7.9 seconds, pretty quick off the mark, and just under 50 mpg combined on this vehicle as well. It's front wheel drive only on the ZR-V. It's 4 cylinders, so it's very smooth. It's much smoother than the 1.5 units in the Jazz and the HR-V, and it gives you that extra oomph in the car as well. Even without a turbo, because of the electric motors, it runs very smoothly, and it's an excellent design by Honda. Quite heavy, the bonnet, and it's not on hydraulics, but most cars don't have hydraulics anymore anyway. So then, let's have a little look at the interior on the ZR-V. Stepping inside the ZR-V, and it's very much like being in a Honda Civic, because same platform, you've got the same screen there as well, and the same steering wheel, and that's not a bad thing whatsoever. It's really nice premium materials. I love this round steering wheel with really premium leather. It's a nice thickness, it's not too fat like on BMW wheels. I'm not too sure if I like that. No, I don't. It's too fat. Wow, massive. So it's a good size on there. You've got the digital display, which looks excellent. You can see the actual touchscreen here as well. The screen is a 9-inch infotainment screen. It's still slightly tilted away from the driver, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it doesn't seem as pronounced as on some cars, so it's not actually too bad. It's slightly away. They haven't switched it over for the UK side, and I always find that a bit strange, especially for Japanese cars, but nevertheless, it's a great system. It's very user-friendly. You just have all your shortcuts along the bottom. I also love the fact that you've got physical climate controls there as well, with tactical feedback. Very easy to use. It's all just very ergonomic and user-friendly. There's heated steering wheel button there, the paddles for the regen. It's all grey, and everything is so tactile and easy to use. It's not touch sensitive. It's proper buttons, which is just excellent. And the user friendliness has really been focused on in this ZR-V. You can see here you've got the Bose sound system, because this is the Advanced model. It's obviously Bose sound system. Which is quite good. Let's hear the bass. Good bass on them speakers. The Honda sound systems as standard are very good anyway, but the fact that it's Bose is great. This has got the other full interior, which is quite nice, quite comfortable. Personally, I do prefer the cloth seats. I just find them a little bit more comfortable, and obviously on hot summer days, cloth is a bit of a nicer thing to have. This being the advanced model, it's got the electric driver's seat and also passenger seat. That's great because on some Honda vehicles you can't actually adjust the passenger seat for height, so they'd be really low and you'd be high, so it's nice that that's been sorted. You don't have adjustable lumbar support on this one, but it is set up very well. It's quite nice and supportive. It's not too protruding, so you have a good comfortable seat. Honda really does focus on comfort and safety as well, so that's great. You do also have a light headlining in all models, so it's nice and bright and airy in the cabin. I'd expect the Sport to have a dark headlining, but it does also have a light headlining, nice and bright, even more so with this sunroof on the Advance, which I'll show you now. So this Advanced model has got the sunroof, which is openable, which is always great. It goes back. That's how far back it goes, like most sunroofs. It's the front section and you get that air in, really nice, and just adds to the brightness of the cabin. I can close that for you as well. It's not available on any other trim, just the Advance currently. You do also have the blind that goes across. It's nice though that on the top of the range model it is standard, the sunroof, because many brands such as Volkswagen, they will have sunroof as option, which is quite good because you can get it on lower trim levels at a cost, but the higher trim levels don't have it as standard. Whereas the Honda, you know what you're getting when you're on the top trim. You're going to get that sunroof and the Bose sound system, so it's really good. Coming to the rear of the ZR-V, and I think it's a little bit less dynamic than the front and sides, but it's still quite a tasteful design. You've got clear tail lamps and red, so clear tail lamps have been a huge trend very recently, which is quite cool. I'm almost getting BMW vibes from the sort of the colour with the grey and the red, but that's not a bad thing at all. It looks really nice. You've got this grey finisher on this one on the boot lip. I'll show you the boot now. From Sport and above, so Sport and Advanced trim levels, you do get the electric tailgate. The boot space, while it looks quite practical and quite large, it is a 380 litre on Elegance and 380 litre on Sport models. On this Advanced model, because of the Bose sound system, it does have the subwoofer in the boot. That takes away 10 litres, so it's 370 litres. That means it's actually smaller than a Volkswagen Golf boot, a Seat Arona, and lots of many smaller SUVs in the category below. Obviously, this is just an issue because of hybrid drivetrains, everything like that takes up a lot more space, but of course it is a little bit small. Now you do have a little bit more storage under here, but not a massive amount. The boot is a square enough shape. The seats also fold completely flat, so I wouldn't say it's impractical by any means, and quite nice that you do get the electric tailgate because it is obviously quite a large tailgate on this car, so you get that on Sport and Advance. Lower down we do have this gloss black bumper, which is quite tasteful and really nice how they've integrated the sensors in rather than it being on paint. It kind of blends in a little bit more seamlessly. You do have real exhaust as well hidden in these sort of finishers on the end, and they look really nice. Just a sporty design on this ZR-V. Looks really premium and suits the car very well. Right then, let's see what the back is like for the rear passengers. You've got quite a bit of room, 3 seats as well. Very comfortable. I do really like the fact that you've got the light headlining. This Advanced model actually has heated rear seats as well as front. So you've got 3 levels of heating on the rear seats, which is excellent. Obviously the middle seat isn't heated, but the 2 proper seats have got heating, which is lovely. A nice addition and just adds to the level of comfort and quality of this vehicle. You've got 2 USB-C ports here. You've got your rear armrest, which is really well fitted and much better than on the Civic and HR-V, which sort of slap the bottom of the thing. They sort of hit the bottom. This actually stops, so it's at a nice height and it doesn't feel cheap where on the HR-V it just goes bang like that and it hits it, and it's just not quite right. This is much better and much improved. You've got 2 cup holders there, which is great. The seats are 60-40 split, which I'll show you now. And although they're not Honda Magic seats, so the bottom doesn't flip up, they do go almost completely flat. You do have 2 sets of ISOFIX points as well, concealed away, and your middle seat belt is as well. I'll sit in the middle seat and tell you what that's like. It's a little narrow and you do have a bit of a hump in the floor, but it's pretty comfortable. It's not as firm as in the HR-V or as in some other vehicles. So I think you'd be pretty comfortable in here. 3 adults could probably sit in the back. You do also have the pockets in both backs of the seats. Yeah, quite nice. So then, what do I think of the new Honda ZR-V? Well, I think it's an excellent premium self-charging hybrid SUV that looks great. It does definitely show that Honda can make a great premium car. Of course, it comes with that premium price tag as well, but comparing it to other vehicles in the electric market and more high performance petrol SUVs, it doesn't seem too bad value for money. It starts at £39,495 for the Elegance model. This, being the Advance, starts from £42,895, so it's not the cheapest, but the actual step up from Elegance to Sport to Advance isn't too much at all. This particular model, because it's got the £975 option of the Diamond Dust paintwork, and it's also got the robust pack on it, has a price tag of over £45,000. But most people are going to go for the mid-spec Sport SUV, which costs just over £41,000. Thank you, Lancaster Honda, for making this video possible.